with that, my apologies for my mistake on the agenda earlier. So that is our last talk of this session, and we're going to have Paul Stackhouse come back on to do the Q&A.
Hi, and thanks to actually the three of you here for very interesting and useful talks. Actually very excited to see you utilizing the time series data, which has been something that we've really stuck to. We've been asked to develop the TMY data products, and I really felt that the correlation between the temperatures and the humidities in the clouds and the solar irradiance is really a critical aspect. Having those correlated in time, plus being validated and accurately representing the variability was really an important feature, and really glad to see that it's being used in that way, and also appreciate the use of the hourly data. So I guess I'll open it up again. With similar questions, but if there's anyone else on the team that has some questions, certainly you can participate too. So I opened it up the last time just asking about how you obtain the data, if you do it. So Aved, you use the R tool, so I presume you're using the API as well. But if anyone has some other comments, also if you have some comments about parameters you wish were there, that's an interesting point you made about apparent temperature, and using that to assess the performance of PV panels. So that's a nice nuance there. But do you have any comments on just some parameters you wish were there, or do you find that with the parameters we find you can compute anything you need, but just looking for areas, maybe there's a particular parameter that says, boy, if I had that, I could do this much extra with it. Those sorts of suggestions are always very helpful. So is there any comments from any of the three of you on that? Yes, Abed.
So if I may, I at least in the past, I haven't used this one in a while, but there used to be a optimal tilt for solar panels. And if I'm not mistaken, there seems to be some kind of kind of uncertainty that's a function of latitude with this optimal tilt, so that it becomes like a little bit less reliable when the absolute value of the latitude is about 40. Is that something you could comment on, or this was something that we tried to look at when we look at a very diverse set of sites around the world, and then we found that we were comparing it to ground-based data where we could find it.
Actually, Abed, this is Ralph.
Yep.
I can comment on it because I just analyzed solar at least all over the United States at 450 locations, and the answer is the correlations that people had are pretty crappy. So the good thing is that if you're looking at total production as opposed to like a power, and you're looking at how many kilowatt hours, it isn't as big a deal. And so if you whether you're at low latitudes or high latitudes, if you're doing things at 5 or 10 degrees below latitude, you're going to have a pretty output, but it's pretty forgiving. If you're asking though, and you're worried about trying to do things as I am for backup power, and I'm worried about when it's really bad and cloudy out, it's a lot more sensitive to making sure you tilt, and you tilt for those winter months, because that's when you, at least here in the north, when you are going to have the worst output. So that one's a little bit more sensitive. So if you're looking at overall average power output for the year, it's fairly insensitive. But if you're doing it for backup and you need to make sure what your minimum production is going to be, it's a lot more sensitive.
Well, thank you, Ralph. And I will say that the optimal tilt is still available, but you have to select the climatological products to get an estimate for the optimal tilt parameters. But maybe, Abed, you have a need to have it more frequently than just available in the climatological. I will say the new tools allow you to pick the old tool we were fixed for the climatological period, but now that the new tools, you can actually specify your climatological period. So at any time in the last 40 years. So if you just want the last 15 years or 10, or you want the whole database. So I think we do still support in the terms of climatology that parameter in the current version, and the new version should provide a little more flexibility to get that. But if you're interested in something on an annual basis or more frequent than just climatological, we'd love to hear that feedback on that optimal tilt parameter. I also note that in this version 10, we should be helping to improve the direct and diffuse estimates on an hourly basis, which is something we featured in version 9, but it wasn't. We noticed the biases, and we're trying to eliminate them. So I think that this version 10 coming out is going to address these needs and hopefully improve the analysis with the hourly data. Yes, Ralph. Yeah, go ahead, Ralph. I can't hear you right now. Are you speaking?
Okay, there, sorry, yeah, okay. I just wanted to let you know where we go and direct from Python, grab data for the API, because with the tool we're setting up, we want it to be fairly location independent. I give it a latitude, longitude, and it goes in and probes, and we pull out the closest data. The web interface, I think, was useful when I was trying to look and get what the product was. And I don't know that you can do a better job. It's a hard thing to try to put together an interface for, but for the work and the analysis we do, that throws is sitting here with Python and Julia sitting in the background, just the API, and we use direct Python. We then feed it into NREL systems assessment model. So when we pull the stuff down, if it's an EPW or TMY files that are easily, just be able to pop right into SAM, it's fantastic.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
I think it's safe to say everybody loves this product.
Well, we really appreciate the support, and we're glad that you love it. And of course, we're trying to continue it and continue to improve it as well. So that's why we're looking for your feedback and suggestions. And glad to hear that you like the interface, that the API service is working really well for everyone. So these are also encouraging to hear. So I appreciate all that, and would love to, hopefully we can interact with you as well. Interested in the Antarctic applications? That's it.
Yeah, we're about to start doing some press releases because it is a cool PR thing, and we'll make sure that, we did put out there's a preprint out, and power gets cited properly. But when we start talking and look to find some more money and partners with NSF and DOE, you will get hyped up. Maybe there's another chance for other potential collaboration, but we'll see.
We're always looking for that. So thank you. Right, so Madison, I'm going to transfer over to Madison as we transition out of the lightning talks. Thanks again for these talks. Really appreciate it.